Hey everyone, just a update. I have this video that I wanted to share with you. I mean, I've been looking for this video, but it was just last year that this was preached. And I mentioned this in another video that I made, um, just about inconsistencies in CFM, Christian Fellowship Ministries, but especially when it comes to giving some very strange ideas about money and salvation. So I'm just gonna run this video. It is a collection for the Tempe Church, and it's a collection for a church building, which is gonna be about $11.5 million, which is a crazy amount of money for a building. But anyway, this is how Pastor Mitchell, Greg Mitchell, goes about it.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll give something. I'm not asking you to give something. I challenge people today. Are you going to give what God tells you to give? That is the spirit of obedience. There are people you're watching on live stream right now, that you're watching it live or you're watching this recorded whenever you are watching it at a later time. If you are a part of the Tempe wing, you owe your soul to this church. You are saved. You're not going to hell because of this church. Tempe needs your money. We need large money. There are people that are watching. You are not a part of Tempe. You're just seeing what God is doing.
Yeah, that's a big concern. Um, Bringing it this way that your salvation is totally dependent on the church is blasphemy, in my opinion. But hey, this is how they collect money. They put you on a guilt trip. Um, I was at this conference with this pastor, was about a year ago, in the February conference of 2025 in the Netherlands, and which we attended for many, many years. But this was a sermon, it was a collection sermon preached by Pastor Joe Campbell, and this is how he wants to bring the gospel or giving, and I'll let you listen to it and then let's talk about it.
Onze kerk,
older gentleman, he's old as I am.
net zo oud als ik.
He said, Bill, take these down and give it to your pastor.
Geef hem maar aan de pastor.
Ron Meyer saw it.
Ron Meyer zag het.
Pastor Ron Meyer.
Pastor Ron Meyer.
It was a 1960 Ford truck.
1964 truck.
He said, Pastor,
Pastor,
let me take that to Florida.
ik neem het mee naar Florida.
Show you what I can do
Ik
with it.
zal eens laten zien wat ik met zo'n ding kan doen.
Show him the truck.
Laat hem de truck zien.
Give!
Geef!
And it'll be given back to you.
En daar wordt hij jou
I think
gegeven.
there's another, look at that.
Oh!
I'm telling you, you can serve God with a
Je
truck like
kunt
that.
God dienen met zo'n mooie auto.
You can serve God with a car like that. I guess you probably could. But is it biblical? Is it the right way to go about it? I mean, he started off by saying somebody threw the keys at some, maybe the assistant pastor, and said, "Here, take the keys." So this guy was obviously very upset. You know, he felt guilty. He felt that he had to give the car keys, give this car to Pastor Campbell. And you know, if we would go back to, you know, Pastor Greg Mitchell, how he brought this message, I could assume that the sermon that, you know, Pastor Campbell preached was in the same kind of spirit, like you owe your soul to this church. And so I guess the man then listened to that altar call to give, and he just said, "Yeah, take the keys." And Joe Campbell says, "See, give and it'll be given to you." And then this is what God's blessing looks like. It's materialism. So for me, as personally, I think this is going the wrong. This looks like prosperity preaching to me. And the bad thing about it is there's guilt. There's guilt used in collecting this money, money that's, you know, they say it's for, you know, planning churches, which I think generally they do. They plan a lot of churches, but there are also situations that I know about that money is going towards lawsuits, and which I don't think is appropriate use of funds. But this principle of you owe your soul to this church, and that's why you need to give. And this idea of, you know, if you give, you will get from God, and This prosperity preaching is absolutely unhealthy, so I don't encourage you. A good person to look at. I mean, I'm not against tithing and giving, but Mike Winger has a video about giving, and he has a good balance in that. So I would advise you to do that. He talks about it, gives some good ideas about giving. He tithes as well. I tithe as well. But I also give offerings, and it's healthy. It's healthy to do that. If you do it, no problem. If you don't do it, that's your thing. But don't feel guilty. It has to be biblical in all senses. So just think about that.